Ezra Anderson here. I just want to show you a game that I made that I actually quite like and I'm quite actually proud of. And I wanted to make an endless runner because I hadn't made one yet, and I think your induction to the app world, you need an endless runner. So I wanted to make something unique, and I knew what I wanted. I wanted to have something on waves. So for the first day, I mucked around with um, sine waves, but I couldn't get it to work the way I wanted because I couldn't convert the wave at the right time or the right speed to make a different type of hill. So I wasted a day doing that, and so then for the next day, I mucked around with I don't know how to pronounce it, Bezier curves, and my problem with that was the algorithms I had, they weren't distributing the points evenly. So once again, I couldn't get the hills or the waves that I wanted. Um, so the next day, I just had to sit down and I had to think about it instead of just mucking around for a long time. And I had an idea, and the idea was to attach or to use a transformer in the Moi SDK, and on the Moi transformer, I would seek a rotation, and then I would attach an easing to that. So I could use a different type of easing. I could say seek the rotation of 90, and then you could add a time to that, so maybe half a second, and you tell it to draw, and then on the callback, you'd tell it to stop, and you'd give it a different sets of parameters going in the other direction. And then, and that's how I got my hills. And the hills are kind of cool because it randomly selects an easing, it randomly selects an angle, and you get a feeling of, of motion, smooth motion at that. So I had that working, and then I needed to actually come up with a concept. What did I want to do? Because I knew I just wanted to make an endless runner, but I didn't know exactly what. So I decided, okay, well, we'll just jump over things. So I then had to put holes. So then I just had to, track how many hills I made and then put a hole in. And you can see now what's on the screen is he's going over a white piece. Because I'm actually drawing it in, but if it's a hole, I'm giving it a different flag saying it's a pit and the character has to fall. And if the character falls for so long, he dies. So I like that. That worked pretty cool. But the problem was it still wasn't perfect. So I wanted to collect things too. So the point of the game now is you have to jump the hole, but also get the treasure above the hole. Because if you just jump, you'll shoot off into space. If you don't jump in time, you'll fall into the hole. If you notice the character, when he jumps, he turns red, meaning he is airborne. And if he were to get the yellow treasure, the green treasure, he would turn back green and go down. So I had now another mechanic, but it still wasn't that fun. So I thought of different ways to make it more challenging. So I tried, what I first did was just, speed it up, make the dots come faster. And it still wasn't what I wanted, so I decided I wanted to rotate it. So if you got a dot, it would rotate, and I kind of liked it, and it was a good idea. And I just used one direction. So every time you got a treasure, it would rotate a little bit, and then it would rotate a little faster. I guess it was actually continuous motion. So it'd be rotating slowly and then faster and faster and faster the more dots you got. And finally, I'm like, great, I have a game, and I played the game, and it made me really, really sick. It made me nauseous because of the rotation of the screen. And I was like, oh, fantastic, I just made a game that makes people sick. And I showed some people it on the iPhone. And yeah, it had the same effect on everybody. It made everybody a little nauseous. So I'm like, well, obviously that's not going to work, so I had to do something else. So this time I went back and I decided, okay, when I collect the dot this time, there we go, it will rotate. I guess it's every 3 dots it will rotate. So it will rotate one direction and then the other direction. And it works. I liked it. So it's a neat idea for a game. It gets harder because I think the rotation speeds get faster the better you get at it, but it still only rotates to a point. Something else to note is that this is all kind of trickery. There is no real physics or anything like that. I'm just telling Geo to follow a line, and then the camera just follows him also. So he's not actually colliding with anything. The camera is just drawing on that line, and then when you jump, the camera goes up, and if he gets a dot, he jumps down until he hits the line, or if he doesn't jump, he'll fall into the pit and he'll die. And it's an endless runner, so you're just going for the best time. Then the other thing, which is the magic behind the curtains, is the illusion of rotation. Because there isn't physics, the camera is just following him along the line. If you see the rotation there, you might think that it's gravity holding him to the line or something, but it's not. It's just an illusion, and the illusion is done with a simple texture. I'm drawing everything to a texture, and then I'm telling the texture to rotate, and that gives a really nice illusion of gravity, non-gravity. I'm not really sure. It's definitely a neat illusion. Anyways, this game is called Geo-Jump. It is on Android and iPhone. I highly recommend you check it out. I quite like it. I think it's unique and fun. Okay, great. Thanks. Bye.